Hello, I'm Alex Mansfield, the host of Manny Talks Shooting, and welcome to another episode. This is the shooting podcast where I talk to individuals all across the shooting industry. We'll talk competition, self-defense, concealed carry. If you like this content, check out our YouTube channel, Manny Talks Shooting. And without further ado, let's get to this episode. Manny Talks Shooting is proudly presented to you by D2 Custom Guns. Did you know that Phil the Groundhog isn't the only thing Puxatawny, Pennsylvania is famous for? That's right, D2 Custom Guns, the home of Dan Heizenreiter and one of the best, fabulous 2011 builders in the country. So make sure you guys go check him out, D2 Custom, anywhere you can see him on the social media, Facebook, Instagram, go check him out. If you see myself, Patches Reader, anyone with the D2 Custom Guns, make sure you go check him out, and you will thank me later. Now, let's get on to the show. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to another installment of Manny Talks Shooting, where the side is always greener, because green is the predominant color, and it's the best color. I mean, even Darren Byers says so. It's okay. This show is proudly presented to you by D2 Custom Guns, one of the fabulous 2011 builders in the country. You know, as I say, Puxatawny Phil, move over, because Dan Heizenreiter is here. But without further ado, we're talking to another guy who likes to build 2011s. We're sitting down with Isaac McLearn. How you doing today, sir?
Doing good.
It's good. It's okay. He's part of the conglomerate of Lima, Ohio, that is being controlled and bought by Sam Patel. Sam owns Lima, Ohio. He just won't admit it yet. He won't ever listen to this, so he won't understand my humor in it. I mean, it's like, I think he owns a restaurant too. Like, I don't know what Sam doesn't own in Lima, Ohio.
Man, everywhere we go, and if you're with Sam, everybody knows Sam. Yeah.
So I just need to carry a picture of Sam, like him and I, in a picture, and be like, you know this guy, right? He's my best buddy,
Yeah.
so don't charge me for anything.
Exactly. Yeah, you can go anywhere and get a free meal just about with Sam by your side, man.
Yeah. Or maybe hopefully go to Sam's hospital and be like, Sam, I know you. You must save me. Well, honestly,
Man,
Janelle, fix me.
yeah, Janelle would fix you. Well, it's funny because Sam's like everybody's personal doctor here, and we'll be like, hey, I got this issue going on. What do I need to do? And he's like, come on, man. I don't know nothing about the heart. If you need something done with your shoulder, I'll fix that. But
Maybe I should ask him about my elbow problem, because my elbow has been super bothering me. Like, maybe I will. I'll have to ask him.
tennis elbow?
No, I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know if I lifted something wrong, because it's not like, I don't dry fire that much, I'll be honest with you. But, so I can't have tennis elbow. But it's like I'll pick up my water bottle, and like the muscle right here is just like super firm. Like, it just like it's a dull, annoying pain. But it's like it's not even like I pick up anything heavy. I mean, this maybe has 35 ounces of water in it right now, so it can't be that heavy.
Right.
But it's like you hold it up and it's an annoyance. So trying to hold a 59-ounce open gun open, like with your strong, it's just like, it's quite annoying.
Yeah.
But I forgot. Oh yeah, because Sam owns everything in Ohio. So Isaac, I'm glad you came on the show. We've got lots to talk about today. We'll talk about shooting, guns, all the things that we end up talking about on Manny Talk Shooting. But the first thing that I have to ask every guest is, who are you and how did you get into shooting?
I'm Isaac McLearn. A lot of you guys might know the McLearn name from my dad. He grew up shooting back in the late 80s. I think he started shooting in 87. Basically won every match in Canada and came to the United States and started shooting here. Won nationals in 93 and then won world shoot in 93 with guns he built himself. And then after that, he kind of just slowed down in the shooting world. My oldest sister was born in 93, so he kind of transitioned from becoming a competitive shooter to being a family man, and had the rest of his kids. He still shot off and on through the early 2000s, but not a whole lot. And a lot of people are actually surprised when they find out that Dad actually did not try to push or introduce us kids to the competition world. We were always kind of around it. Me and my older brother, we traveled with him to Steel Challenge Worlds and national matches. Area 2, we traveled with him to Area 2 quite a bit. But other than that, Dad never really, gave us guns or rigs or anything. He just wanted us to figure it out on our own and decide whether we wanted to get into competition shooting on our own. And so I started working for Dad about 6 years ago. And after about a year of working for dad, I was like, okay, I want to do this for a living, building guns for a living. But I wanted to be able to relate to the customers that I was dealing with. And, we'd have a customer contact us, and dad would be like, hey, I want you to deal with him and see how you handle the situation. So I would talk to him, and after the phone call or the email conversation or whatever, I was lost. Like, dad, honestly, I have no idea what the issue is. What could the gun, the issue with the gun be? And he's like, well, you'd have to understand, you'd have to be shooting competitions to kind of understand a little bit more, and it'd give you more knowledge. So after several times of having conversations like that, I was like, okay, forget this. I'm going to start shooting competitively, try to understand the issues that people are having, the stress of going to a match and needing your gun to perform 100%. Same thing with ammo, all of these different things. And so that's kind of how I started. I wanted to be able to relate to my customers more, and that's where it all came down to. So
Gotcha. So you said your dad, started in '87 in Ipsic in Canada, and you said he won nationals and worlds. I'm assuming it was a standard division. Was he shooting limited or was he shooting open?
so actually, at that time, I believe there was only one division, and everything was open.
Oh, okay.
So if you had a red dot, you could shoot open in a comp. If you didn't, you could shoot, iron sights and still be in the same division. Everything was put together. Um, I
Gotcha.
if I'm remembering correctly, I believe revolver was even in the same division as single stack or open, whatever you want to call it.
Sounds
Um,
terrible. Never shoot single stack,
oh man,
or we'll never shoot
well,
revolver.
well, Jerry Micklick was back in those days, so he was still kicking butt with a revolver. But yeah, so the at that time, everybody was using the tube scopes. I'm sure you've seen them, the
hmm
big tubes with the red
Yeah,
dot.
like the Tasco tubes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
So everybody was using that, and then Seymour actually, he was a dentist. The owner of Seymour, I can't remember his name, uh, but anyways, he was a dentist at the time and was also a competitive shooter. And he designed the Seymour, the Serendipity sight,
Oh,
and
okay.
contacted dad, and him and dad were going back and forth, and dad actually won nationals and world shoot with that, with the oh, what do you whatever, the serendipity sight. But
hmm
they were still like trying to make it, come up with it. Dad said he broke, I think, 50 of them in the first year. Just he would take them to the range and shoot like one mag through it, and it would break, and he'd have to send it back in for repair, or have the guy fix it.
Right.
So yeah, it was actually really cool. Dad was able to help Seymour get up on their feet, because when he showed up to nationals with that sight, everybody wanted one because it was the first reflex sight that was ever made. So he
Mm.
showed up to nationals and everybody wanted one, and then when he went to World Shoot, everybody wanted one. So after that, Seymour, the business just exploded. Everybody wanted that, and he was able to quit his dentist practice and go into making these reflex sights full time.
That's I never knew that about Seymour. But
Yeah, it's actually really cool.
I looked it up. I went to USPSA website, uspsa.org/champions,
Okay.
and '93 was the first year that there was open and limited.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Yep. And you're the national champions that year were your father and then Jerry Barnhart and limited.
Mhm.
So there you go. That's kind of cool. Which is kind of cool. It goes all the way back to '77.
Oh
You
wow.
can see the champions all the way to '77. So
Oh, that's pretty cool.
it definitely is. So all right. So which is kind of cool that your dad kind of pushed you into the sales. Trying to figure out diagnose these guns over the phone or email. But
Yeah.
it's like, did he at least give you a background on some of these things? Like, did he start teaching you about the guns beforehand, or is it just throw you to the phones first and then make you figure it out?
No, I've always been in the shop since I was probably 7 or 8.
hmm
Just either cleaning the shop, or one big thing was loading ammo. We loaded a lot of ammo for people, hunting rounds, rifle, 9 millimeter major, and 38 super comp. Firing pins. Dad designed his own firing pin and had a company making them for him. So they would ship 1,000 firing pins to him at a time, and we would package them up for him, and then he would ship them, distribute them to his dealers or whatever. Um, so I've always been in the shop for almost as long as I can remember, and he would slowly start introducing me to more things. I think when I was 14 or 15, he taught me how to blend the grip to frame. Um, he taught me barrel fits when I was 17, or not the whole thing, but like fitting the hood to the slide.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of slowly introduced me to things. So by the time I started working for him full time at 18, I had been around the shop quite a bit. I knew my way around a mill and a lathe. Um, was kind of pretty familiar with all the controls there. So I was pretty familiar with gunsmithing at the time, and so he was like, you know what, you need to start dealing with customers a little bit more and get a more feel of what they're dealing with.
Right. So back in the day, at that point, you said 2019 is when you started kind of doing that. Um,
Yep.
when what was the biggest thing people were calling about back then?
A lot of it was, just like the what we had talked about before we started, malfunctions.
Mm-hmm.
Battery, the slide's not going into battery all the way. Um, that was one thing. Broken ejectors, broken extractors, um, mag issues.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that was kind of the main things. With open guns, man, you've always got a broken slide. Seems like.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think that was basically it. But there was a lot of extractors that were broken before Aftec came out with their extractor.
Mm-hmm.
And when Aftec came out with their extractor, it fixed a lot of issues, and we loved it. I don't know whatever happened. Something happened with the whole patent with Aftec, but
Mm-hmm. Well, and it
since
seemed
then,
also like COVID or something, or like after COVID, they kind of like all disappeared. It seems like.
yeah, yeah, COVID messed up a lot of companies.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
sorry, go ahead.
no, you're good. Keep going.
Well, after Aftec disappeared, we were using the EGW practical extractor, and I actually had one in my personal gun, and it broke on me.
Mm-hmm.
And so Dad and I were looking at it, and we figured out that the slot where the firing pin stop goes into was in the wrong location for competition guns.
Mm-hmm.
So it, and nothing against EGW. We love their parts. We use all their parts, but they're trying to build their parts for the general public, right? So they're making like a one part fits all type thing. They're not wanting to make a specific part for any specific gun unless you ask them. So Dad ended up redesigning an extractor and asking EGW to make it for him. So we've actually got our own extractor now that EGW is making for us because we don't have the machinery to make it ourselves. Um, but we fixed that issue since then. We're making our own extractors now. So I have not had a broken extractor in my gun, and I've got I think 20,000 rounds through it now, 25,000 on that extractor.
I'm just gonna
Uh,
knock on wood for you.
yep. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
As you
Right.
say that, it's like, wait.
Yeah. Well, it was weird because I had not right now, not right now. Going up. I had I think 5,000 rounds on that extractor when it broke,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what was so weird. And I was like, I was actually at Midwest Shooting Center when it broke, and the rounds were just like barely falling out of the gun. And Darren's like, dude, what's wrong with your gun? And I was like, I have no idea. And so I actually took it to the save table there and looked at it, and the hook was like completely broke off. So
Mm.
what happens is if the extractor or if that slot is put in the wrong position, the extractor is too long, so the rebate on the case will hit that hook every time the slide goes forward and pushes around up into battery. The extractor is or the rebate on the case is hitting the hook, so it'll eventually just break it off after in my case 5,000 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went back to the shop, fit a new one, and haven't had an issue since after we figured that issue out. So
Yeah. Well, I guess the worst thing about that kind of material is it's also like a spring steel, right? Like it's going to take
yeah,
a bend, and it's like it's only going to sustain so much abuse after some, it's either going to go
yeah,
out of tension and it's not going to have enough
mhm,
tension on the case, or it's just going to snap out, because they're not
yeah,
always. as durable as they can be. So
Right.
it's what we got, right? It's I don't know
Yeah.
which that's probably the easier part to replace than an
Oh yeah.
ejector though. Like the ejector is
Yeah.
like you're like, oh, I got to take
Yeah.
the whole thing apart.
Yeah. The ejectors can be tough, especially because when you blend in the back of the slide and all of that, and then you have to fit a new ejector in. You've got to go through there and try to blend it all in. And if it doesn't work right, or if you don't blend it in right, you got to recoat the frame and the slide and all that. So it's just more work, unfortunately. The extractor is the same way though. The extractor, if you blend that in, if you want to blend it in right, you got to recoat the slide. And so, but yeah, the ejector is definitely a little bit more work than the extractor is. But yeah, that the extractor issue, that was kind of my first issue that I had with my own gun. And ever since then, I haven't really had any like major gun issues since then. I haven't had any major gun issues. It's all been ammo. But ever since I had that issue, uh, my dad was like, "Hey, now you got a little taste of what other people are experiencing out there,
Mm-hmm.
and now you actually want to go through there, check all your gear with your guns, check your gun, and make sure it's actually uh, working right and all that before you go to a match. Because if that extractor breaks at a match, you're toast.
Yeah, it's at that point. It's oh, my gun's broke. Time to put on get a backup gun out, right?
Well, yeah. Well, I don't have a backup gun, so
Wait, you're a gun builder and you don't have a
I
backup
know
gun.
I don't have a backup gun.
It means he
No,
trusts his product 100% of the time and doesn't think
I
that
do.
God's gonna smite him down and be like, no, broken gun.
Yeah, and it is dumb of me, but man, parts are expensive.
Yeah,
Parts in one of our guns is like $2,600, I think, or $2,400,
yeah,
and
it's not cheap any. I mean, I mean they were never cheap, but I mean the base material cost keeps going up. But
yeah,
and then the problem is your margin shrinks, or your
mhm,
gun becomes at a price point that then is not ideal for your market, right? It's
right,
like at some point
yeah,
they're like, well, if I spent X dollars, I should go get the upgraded brand, right?
yeah,
But in all
yeah,
reality, it's not an upgrade. It's a cosmetic or it's you know what I mean. It's like that
yeah,
other those other brands that they charge you a lot of money for a really long wait time, and their guns still have lots of issues.
yeah,
Now, but if you told me that 4,000 extra dollars was going to get me a gun that will never break and will always run no matter what garbage ammo or mags I feed it, I mean, then maybe it's worth it. But it's definitely not worth it from a standpoint
yeah,
of I can still have issues.
yeah, yeah. And unfortunately, I think in the 2011 platform, I think you're always going to have issues. Um, and that's coming from me who loves to brag on my gun. Right, I haven't had any issues since that extractor.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but right now, I'm like just waiting for the day. I'm like, I'm honestly at the point where I'm a little nervous, like going to a match. I'm like, all right, is my ejector gonna break? Is my extractor gonna break?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm like a barrel link. Is a barrel link gonna break off type thing? And so I'm just kind of doing my general maintenance now, just kind of going through the gun, make sure everything looks good.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. You got to have all those spare. You got to have the maintenance and keep the maintenance up on it. Keep some spare parts if you can, because you never know what's
Yeah,
going to happen.
yeah.
So you started taking the phone calls in 19. So did you start shooting in 2019 competitively, or did you wait a little bit?
So August will be my third year shooting competitively. So 2022.
Okay, that's what I thought because
Um,
I started end of 19, ended I started at a terrible time. Started right before COVID, right? Like, so yeah, I don't remember seeing your names, and I was always tracking like the majors around, so I didn't remember seeing you. So, but that sounds more right about 2022 ish,
yeah.
So.
So I was. It was actually a military fundraiser match in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
A buddy of ours, he had bought a couple of our guns, and then he put us in contact with a match director there in, oh, was it Zoo City? I think Zoo City Armory hosted the
Mm-hmm.
match, and it was a military fundraiser. And that was actually my first match I've ever shot. Went there with like zero experience at all, and it was my older brother. He didn't have any match experience either, and he was kind of doing it for fun. I was wanting to get into it for the experience, And man, we had a blast. It was a lot of fun. But that was my first match ever.
So your first couple matches, then you were shooting carry optics, I'm assuming.
No, I was shooting limited.
Oh, okay. So you shot bumpy sights until LO became a thing in 2023.
Yep.
So did you have to? So did you have to mill your own slide, or did you just or your current slide, or did you get a new slide?
So we actually did a giveaway on that gun. So it was a 4.6 inch barrel steel grip. So it was still pretty heavy. I think it weighed like 46 ounces, 47 ounces, something like that. So it was a heavy but a short limited gun,
Hmm.
shooting 9 minor. And so yeah, I shot that for started in August, and I shot that until I think it was 6 months. I got rid of it after Buckeye Blast in 23, I believe.
Hmm.
That makes well, when did Limited Optics? No, Limited Optics came out in 23, right?
Yeah, it was your first. The Buckeye Blast in 2023 was the first major match to hold it as a provisional division. So
Okay, so yeah, that's when I got it. Was so I used it for like half a year, the limited gun, and then we did a giveaway with it and gave that away, and then I built another gun, the gun I've got now, and we're actually using the chain. I'm using the Chambers optic system on that, the Chambers plate.
hmm. Oh
So,
yeah,
yeah,
the whatever I can't even remember what Joe calls it. I still don't like. It's so weird that didn't he. He also did something weird on his frames or something. To call he calls them like a 2019 or something instead of a 2011 or something.
probably, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the plate sits a little bit lower on the slide, and
Hmm.
the way he's got the cut, it like cuts around the firing pin, and
Mm.
so you're able to get a little bit lower sit. It's not worth it in my opinion. I'd still go with the Atlas system now because he doesn't have enough plates for all the major optics. Like right now, I want to switch to the Seymour RTS3, and he doesn't make a plate for that. So I'm trying to design my own plate right now and make that so I can shoot with the Seymour.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, the yeah, but Joe's customer base is definitely not the same market base as that that we talk about all the time, right? Like
Right. Yeah.
Joe's the guy. I remember one day. I remember when I was big in the tactical side, and I know Steve Fisher. Steve Fisher's a good friend of mine, and he would always talk about Joe Chambers, and I'm like, oh man, I want a Night Fighter 2011 or whatever. I'm like, oh no, I'm not buying one of those. That was back in the day, and then I'm like, oh look at custom open guns. Ooh, shiny. I want one of those. But, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, nothing wrong with Joe's work. I think
No.
he'd be appalled if somebody put a metal grip on one of his guns, though.
Probably.
He'd be
Yep.
like, "No, it's sacrilege. You gotta have a polymer grip. I gotta
uh,
have a polymer grip." Now, do I sound like little
yeah.
Nicky?
Yeah.
Wait, you're still too young. You're too young to understand little Nicky. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Plastic's the king, apparently.
I mean, I guess I can understand, right? Like if some absorbed recoil feel, I guess, but like and not having to want a heavy gun, but I don't know. I like the heavy gun. I mean, it
Man,
absorbs recoil pretty good.
man, if you put a plastic grip next to a steel grip and shoot them side by side, there's no comparison, honestly,
Yeah.
especially with open.
Oh well, yeah. I would never put. Yeah, you can never. I would never put an open gun with a polymer. I mean, people did, right? Like the STI Grandmaster back in the day. That was a polymer grip. You could get them in red or blue or black. You never know.
Yeah. Well, dude, man, for years before Chile came out with his grip, it was before Chile split off from CK Arms, so it was CK Arms and Phoenix Trinity,
Hmm.
and if it was either one of those two grips or a polymer grip, and man, a lot of people didn't like those grips for some reason, and we built a lot of open guns with the polymer grip, and then when Chile split off from CK and started his own thing, uh, we completely abandoned the polymer grips. We were like, hey, you're gonna have to pay us extra to put a polymer grip on a gun because it's ridiculous. The Chile steel grips are incredible.
Well, especially
They
when you're using a Chile style frame,
right,
they just go like it's
dude.
just like it's butter. Like you don't even have to do anything.
Yeah, it's a perfect fit, and it takes like 10 minutes to blend everything in and make it look okay or look good enough for coating. And yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. And I love going to Matt's shop. I've been there a couple times. He's got a vicious attack. If you've never been, he's got a vicious attack dog that's no higher than your knee. It's a little. It's like a little dome. It's like a little min pin, and it thinks
Yeah.
it's the biggest dog in the world. And I'm like, you're not that scary. But thank you for being like you're doing your job.
Yeah.
He
Yeah. Man,
last time I
his
was there, he had a plane in the hangar in the shop, but now it's not there.
yeah. He's I haven't been there myself, but Dad's been there a couple times, and he said it is the cleanest machine shop you'll ever walk into.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't say you could eat off the floors, but I mean, if my sandwich fell, I probably would still eat it.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it is definitely clean. It's kind of cool. It's a really big waste of space, though. I will say this. Like, there's like, he could fill it with more machines, but then he's like, I'd have to do more work. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things of like, I'm keeping pace. I don't need to get any faster.
Yeah.
But then he's also got he's got like two guys working for him, and they work like
Mhm.
no time at all. Like, they fill the machines before they leave. They're supposed to run, and then when they come back, they unload and reload. It's like,
Yeah.
it's not. It's really like a dick job. I mean, like, you got to
Yeah.
know what you're doing, obviously, but it's like, hell, that'd be kind of cool.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, when I bought one of my frames right from him, he's like, "Man, you're the second person I've had to do this for this year." You know, it's FFL to FFL, like he's shipping
Right.
frames to somebody. It's not like, "Oh, you actually got to fill out this piece of paper form." And I'm like, at that point, my one FFL was doing them all electronically, like they're all on the computer
Hmm.
based. And I'm like,
Yep.
"Wait, what's this piece of paper, Matt?" Like, I'm like, "Oh, okay." But no,
That's
Matt's a
funny.
good dude. I did ask him. He showed up one year to Area 5 because he was the title sponsor, and he's like, "I'm like, you gonna shoot it?" He's like, "Only if I could do it with my full auto MP5." I'm like, "No, we can't. You can't do that."
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, Matt's a good guy.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I'm assuming Matt produces all your he white labels all your frames.
Yep.
I mean, and that's the best. Like, that's the easy, nice thing to deal. He doesn't have to build guns anymore. He just like makes everybody's parts. Like,
Yeah.
although I've seen
Yeah.
some, like Rafferty and Venom, they went to the Atlas models. They went to
Hmm.
the Atlas lights, as I call them, using their frame and the Alpha Grip, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
I mean, the Alpha Grip's kind of a cool concept, but I'm also like, I don't know. I mean, it might fit
Yeah.
your hands a little bit better. I mean, the 2011's wide enough as it is. Do I really want it any wider?
Yeah. Right. Man, I've picked up a couple of Atlases with the grips. I don't like them. I'm not a big
Mm-hmm.
fan of them. Um, it is a cool concept, and I guess if you had the time and the to mess around with those different panels and stuff to try to figure out which one fits your hand the best, uh, I guess it's cool. But like I've had, see, I think they're making three different panels, right? So I've
Mm-hmm.
tried two of those panels, and neither one of them just felt right in my hand. Just did not feel good.
Yeah.
But the Chile grip though is phenomenal. Like I
It,
don't see how you can make it any better.
there is one thing. That
Okay.
nubbin on the bottom of the trigger guard can go the fuck away.
Oh.
So you take you've taken a Tom Castro class. How
Yep.
long, you hold that gun out there with full grip pressures and you're doing these drills and that nubbin right on your finger right there. And like
Yep.
the first year, like it ripped open and was bleeding like a son of a bitch. So I taped it. The second year when I took a class, I pre-taped it. So I didn't have that problem, but I'm like, yeah,
Hmm.
that nub after like dedicated hold gripping the gun and doing a bunch of drills with it all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that nub
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah. That is true. I guess that is one thing. Yeah.
The one thing, like, now if it was the only thing that's a problem with that gun or with that frame,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
aesthetically it's
And
pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah. And it, you know what, it bites your hand just enough to where you're not like bleeding like crazy,
Mm-hmm.
but it definitely gets a good grip to where even if you are sweating like a racehorse, you're not going to lose that grip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, and this year has been weird. I used to not have to use Pro Grip all the time.
Hmm.
I stopped using Pro Grip and I started going to like a bag chalk, like a oh god, it's a disc golfer's chalk, but a
Yeah.
rosin bag.
Yep.
It's a rosin bag, and it's just to keep the dry. But this year, like at Kentucky, and well, I was at a local. Was it a local after Kentucky? Yeah, because Kentucky was in June. Must have been a local, and I just could not keep my hands dry. Like
Hmm.
everything I did, like I couldn't keep them dry with the rosin or wiping them off. So I started putting a little bit of Pro Grip back on just to like, if they're super wet, like get me something dry. I hate
Yeah.
cleaning them out of my grip though, so that's really why I don't use chalk or
Yeah.
like the liquid chalk because it gets everywhere.
Oh, it does. What's his name? Maximus White. He was
Mm-hmm.
using a chalk. I don't remember what it was called, but man, it was rusting his gun out. Like
Mm-hmm.
he brought it to us, and he would clean off the surface of the gun, but we took the mainspring housing and all that off, and it was just like coated, like rust was like coated all in there. It wasn't like coating the gun, but
Mm-hmm.
it was like the chalk itself was like rusting, and
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't damaging the coating or anything, but it was weird. Yeah, it was like, and it was really hard to get the mainspring housing out because that chalk had went all in that groove and just like seized it up.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's interesting. Never thought about that,
yeah,
but yeah.
yeah. I don't remember what brand he was using, but he switched after that.
Yeah.
So
And I see those people with like the pepper shaker with like the chocolate stuff.
yeah,
I just think that's a big old gimmick though too. It's like here, let's put some foo dust in your palm and then rub it around and be like, oh, more foo dust, and it's like,
yeah, yeah. So when I first started, when I realized I needed some chalk, I tried to get the Pro Grip and it was out of stock for some reason. Everywhere I looked, couldn't find it. So I went on to Amazon and got this like rock climbing stuff, and man, it's phenomenal and it's cheap. It's like $7 for a bottle, and then it's like a little travel size bottle, and then you can buy like bigger refills for it.
mm-hmm.
And it was like $20 for like a big refill that'll last me like 2 years probably,
Yeah,
and it works great. So, and I haven't had any issues with rusting, so I'm happy.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. How to explain that to dad? Dad, we need to recoat my gun. It ate through all the coating.
Yeah. Oops. Mhm.
Oops, it's coming out of your paycheck, boy.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
But God, where were we going? Oh, I guess I'll talk about this. We're talking about guns right now, so I might as well. So you is it primarily just the two limited optics gun models that you're selling, or are you still selling some open guns?
So we've got two lines of guns right now.
Mm-hmm.
Dad's building the full custom guns, open guns, limited optic, carry guns, whatever you want. Um, he's still building the full custom side of those things, of those guns. I'm building the semi custom side, more of a production line. And we've got three models going. We've got the 5-inch Kopesh, the 4.6-inch Gladius, and then the 4 1/4 inch Dirk. That's our carry gun. Uh, the 5-inch gun, we're only building them with the stainless steel grips right now. But if you want, an aluminum grip, you can pre-order that. We'll throw an aluminum grip on it for you.
I don't know how I feel about aluminum grips, right? Like I understand, like, oh, you want to save some weight, but I'm also like, you want a 5-inch gun though, but you want to save some
Right.
weight. I don't. I mean, like I've seen like my friend Walt, his wife shoots an aluminum gripped gun,
Mm.
which I totally understand, but it's also like I don't know if it's really saving you any money if you go from an aluminum, like a steel to an aluminum, like on weight wise. I mean, I know it costs less to make it, but you know what I mean. Like I don't see the
Yeah.
appeal, but I'm not the person for an aluminum grip either, though.
Yeah. See, I'm all about weight. I love a heavy gun, and my my 5-inch gun, I've got a full profile slide, and my my lightning cuts are not very deep, just enough to give me some texture up in the front to rack the slide if I need to. But I'm all about weight. So when somebody wants an aluminum grip on a 5-inch gun, I'm right there with you. I'm like, that's kind of
Mm-hmm.
pointless. But so yeah, so the 5-inch gun, we built that to be heavy and big. The 4.6-inch, the Gladius, that's our lightweight gun. It's an aluminum grip with a tri-top slide. Not super deep cuts, but enough to give you some texture. But it's definitely quite a bit lighter. And that one there's designed with a tack rail. And the reason why we have a tack rail on that model is because of IDPA. So this
Mm-hmm.
gun you can change the mag well out and put an IDPA legal mag well on there, and it meets the weight requirement. And then a lot of those IDPA guys, they need to throw a light on and have it on there for shooting indoors or whatever. Um, so that's our two models for limited optics, and then IDPA carry optics. And then, like I said, we've got the 4 1/4 inch Dirk, which we build with polymer grip or aluminum, whichever you want for carry. So
Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool. So then you said dad's still building the complete custom rigs, the
yep.
complete custom guns. Do you see many new open guns going out through that?
Like new customers or
Yeah, yeah, like or even like somebody's ordering another open gun, right? Like,
yeah. So he's building. I think right now on the bench, I think he's got 5 or 6 open builds going on.
mm,
Um, I don't think most of the open builds are repeat customers.
mm-hmm,
Um, every once in a while, we'll get a new customer that'll come in and want an open gun. But most of our open guns are repeat customers.
right.
But yeah, he builds probably, I would say, probably 12 to 15 open guns a year.
I guess that's a good number still. I mean, especially when you're like the big ticket market is the limited optics guns right now, or the slide ride guns, right?
Yeah,
So it's still good to
yeah,
see that people are still selling open guns. I mean, my buddy Dan Heizenreiter, he's building, you know, a lot more open guns than limited optics guns. It seems like is still his mix. But
oh
thank
really?
you, yeah. Well, thank you to like Rafferty and Venom for not building them anymore. So it's like
Yeah,
it definitely helps the market space when it's like, oh, my like some of my big competition is now gone. Like
yeah, yeah.
which it hurts they hurt their customer, but they hurt their customers because we want to do this whole. Thank you for checking out another episode of Manny Talks Shooting. I greatly appreciate it. And if you could do me a favor, please go patronize our partners when you are available. We have always, as the title sponsor, D2 Custom Guns. We've got Outdoor Dynamics, Make Stuff Better, 2 Alpha Apparel, Range Panda, Laugh and Load, Hunter's HD Gold, and Southern Bobby Q. Now, thank you. Let's get on with this episode. Did you ever hear of the Covert Project? It's like
I have not. No.
KOV. So they were a company or are a company that buys essentially 2011s or high end guns and essentially is a dealer for them, right? So like
Mm,
essentially, I mean, I don't know Venom or I don't know Don or God Pat with Venom or Rafferty, but they essentially Covert orders a bunch of guns. They make the guns, they ship them to Covert. Covert then sells them and then makes the money off of them essentially.
Okay, gotcha.
So essentially, the problem the scheme with the Covert project is those builders always have orders and always have projects, builds coming in, but they get
Hmm.
rid of the whole customer end, like like the whole core of like the shooting community is the customers. So when you just sell
Yeah,
them off to a dealer like that, you kind of lose touch with them, and then do you even service them? You know what I mean? I don't know.
right.
I think it's a little dirty that they did that, but I mean it's their business. I'm not going to tell them that they can't go where the money's at, but it
Yeah,
sucks is when you're a
yeah.
guy who had one. If you're a person who had one of those guns and can't get them serviced anymore because they don't want to touch them anymore.
Right. Yeah. That's one thing about our business that we've always tried to be careful about is losing the customer satisfaction. Um, we honestly, I love working with our customers, and like, hey, you got an issue with your gun, you got an issue with your ammo, whatever it is, send it to me, and I'll retune your extractor, I'll angle your ejector, I'll figure it out for your ammo.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I don't want, especially now that I'm a competition shooter, I don't want anybody to have to go to a match and wonder if their gun's going to run. And if it means you need to ship the gun to me and I need to, most of the time I'll do it for free. If it's going to be a 30-minute job, I'll just do it real quick and ship it back out to them. If it's going to
Mm-hmm.
be a couple-hour job, I'll be like, hey, $50, and I'll make sure I retune your extractor and your ejector for your ammo that you have, and get it back up and running for you, because there's so much on the line. You're For the mental side of shooting, you've got so much on your mind already. You're thinking about stage plans, you're thinking about everything, and the last thing you need on your mind is my gun gonna run? Is this ammo gonna work in this gun this time? And so yeah, any way that I can help a customer out, and even if it's not even one of our customers, I'll be like, hey, give me your gun, and I'll help you out. Like Darren, uh, he he had an older masterpiece, and it was one of their older models. So I think they had some issues with like some of their like first guns that they started to build.
Mm-hmm.
But he had a I fixed that gun. I don't know how many times for him. I think 3 times, and fit new extractors. Had to fit a new barrel in it right before Buckeye Blast, like 2 days before Buckeye Blast. He's like, my barrel shot. I need a new barrel. So he brought it over, and I put a new barrel in it for him like 2 days before Buckeye. So yeah,
No confident, like nothing like a, hey, I feel extra confident. I'm gonna get all those alphas because that barrel is fresh. It's like an oil
yeah,
change.
exactly, yeah. So yeah, but yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy helping people out and getting their guns running. It's part of my life now, so I've kind of
Right.
embraced it, moved on.
Yeah. So we'll dive more back into the shooting side of things because I think people like to talk. I mean, they love these kind of conversations, and I do too, and I love them. But you got to give them the meat and potatoes, I guess, of what they came for. So
Yep.
you kind of you got seriously into competition at the end of 2020, mid 2022, switched over to from limited to limited optics in 2023. Did you when you started off? Did you take any courses starting off, or was it all natural raw talent? Did Dad coach you? How was that when you kind of started?
So I sat in on a class with Dad one time before I started shooting. It was back in, I believe it was April or May of 22. Yeah, 22.
Mm-hmm.
The same year I started shooting, I sat in on a class that Dad taught, and that was the only class I had ever like partaken of, helped out with, or whatever. So going into when I started competitive shooting, I knew all about grip, stance, sights, all of that from him. Listening to him teach and stuff like that. Um, but a lot of it was figuring it out on my own, and a lot of that had to do with Dad. Dad did not want me to take a class from him right away, and it was kind of his way of pushing me out there. Like, hey, you get out there. I want you to learn this stuff on your own. I want you to experience some of the issues that a lot of these other people are dealing with. And in the moment, I was kind of like, hey, that kind of hurts. Like my father-in-law, who was a national and world champion, doesn't want to teach me. But then after I started shooting for like 6 months, he was like, all right, now let's go to the range. I'm going to show you what you need to be doing here. You're really struggling in this area, um, type thing. And it opened my eyes. I was like, oh, I see. He wanted me to make mistakes on my own. He wanted
Mm-hmm.
me to make those mistakes so that way if ever somebody ever came to me and was like, hey, I'm having this issue, I would know what they were going through. I would know, like, okay, I went through that same thing. I was doing that same issue. This is what Dad did with me to help me fix it. And now looking back, I'm like, oh wow, that was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like a lot of people come into the sport, and before they even shoot a match or whatever, they go and take a class, and it's like, get out there, experience some of the real life situations at a match first, and then go to a class, and then it just kind of helps you out, helps you appreciate the class more. I feel like,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
yeah, so when I shot a classifier match with limited, and I don't know whatever happened. I guess I didn't shoot enough classifiers because I never got classified in limited. But I was assuming I was around like a high B class, low A class limited shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I built the limited optics gun in December, and I think I shot my first match at Midwest Shooting Center. It was a classifier match in either February or March of 23, and I hit M class with limited optics. So I was pretty pumped about that. It was like my first match ever shooting with limited optics with a red dot, and hit M class. So I was happy about that.
That's pretty exciting, right? You bump in from limited optics and you're able to, become shoot as a master level. It's kind of nice when you get to do it indoors because of the nice slick
Yeah,
floors at Midwest Shooting Center and not be cold.
yeah, especially in the winter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you also get to use the Taj Mahal that is Sam's back shooting zone. Like,
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that though either though. Yeah, you
no.
only shot 3 class fires in limited, sir. I,
Oh,
I
really?
I am kind of fast at searching this thing. Yeah,
Okay.
Three classifiers and limited. You needed one more. It still would have been hot garbage, but you still needed one more.
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty bad. And I don't remember. I don't even remember where I shot those at.
Crawford.
Uh, Crawford. Okay.
Crawford County. They're and I've been to their range. Their range is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also like really sketch due to the fact that it's also like made of concrete. Like everything's like
Yeah.
crushed concrete. And I went
Yeah.
there. I went to one match there with Hyder. Bless his
Okay.
soul. But Lord have mercy, was that place sketchy as hell? Like the stages, like. So the funny part is, we went to one match there, and it was literally a warm up match to Area 5. Like they had
Okay.
put up a bunch of stages from that year's, like I think it was 2023 Area 5. They just stole the
Mhm.
match book and threw them on the ground, and they were like, "Okay, well we got to fix this 180 trap. We got to fix this." So it was kind of cool. You could see some of the stages, and I'm like, and it was so funny. The match director for Area 5 that year, we're buddies, and he was like, "Oh, look, I didn't know I was coming to shoot my own match." But we shot with Hyder, and all you could hear was skip, zing, zing. I'm like, holy crap! Like, and we're shooting full bore open guns, and like you'll hear the zingers rip off over your head. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be the house behind the trees, like right on the other side of the parking
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. Well, and they've got enough bays. They could do some cool stuff there. That's for sure. And I mean,
Yeah.
they still do. Oh, you were
Yeah, I
really.
went back there.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No,
No, you're good.
You're good.
I
Well,
was
I
about
went
to-
back there to.
All right. No,
I
you
went
go.
back. All right, I went back to Crawford in October and shot another classifier match, and they had made some more bays and stuff, cleaned things up, so it was actually a lot better than it was when I went there like 3 years ago. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah, they've
Oh,
got
yeah.
a nice facility.
Yeah. I was about to say, like, you're pretty close. Like, you just need like one more. Like, you need to get like an 85-ish% and call it a day.
For limited.
No, limited optics, like to make GM. Like, you don't need much.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so man, it was. So I went to that classifier match in October, and I was going there only for practice. I went there, I think it was a couple weeks after nationals, maybe a month after nationals, and I was preparing for Area 2. So I went there strictly. I wasn't trying to hit GM. I was going there only for practice, and so I went there and I was doing okay. You know, had a couple 100% runs, and Jake Vacek, I think is his name, and he was like, "Bro, like, if you get one more 100% classifier run, you're gonna hit GM." And I was like, "Oh, sweet." So I did this run, and we were all pumped. Like the whole squad was like, "Dude, you just hit GM," and I wasn't even trying. And I get back home and I look at my scores, and I'm like, "Why in the world do I have a 60% run on that classifier?" Like I know it was 100% because we were all excited. We were all like, looking at my phone, like we were all going over the scores and all that. And somehow I did not get that 100% run. I got like a 60% run, and I guess somebody else got my 100% run or something. So technically, I am a GM, but I don't even care really, honestly.
Yeah, you'll get it. I mean, wasn't there? Oh, the problem was with Area 8, there wasn't enough GMs and 90%.
Yeah.
Tanner, by less than 1%, you couldn't do your job.
Tell me about it.
This is
I
always
bad.
make fun of. Oh, I do feel bad. Like that was horrible. I would have been like, I'm gonna stay home. I'm like, I don't even care. my main gun broke. I'm just gonna stay home. But I always do make fun of the GMs who can't do their job at a major. Help everybody
I know.
out.
I was like, I texted Darren. I was like, dude, I could have had a match bump at this match. I said, but there wasn't enough GMs to show up and do their job. But man, I felt bad for Tanner. I sent him a message on Instagram. I was like, man, I don't mind. I love being able to win, but I don't like winning this way. Like I know if you had your gun, you would have been up there, top 5 for sure. Probably would have pushed me out of third, and but
it's okay. You get to rematch it this weekend, man. Rematch.
That's right. Yeah, he's like, hey, we'll get a rematch at Michigan. So he's actually one of the reasons why I signed up last minute. Was he was like, hey, we need a rematch at Michigan. So I was like, all right, we'll do it. So
Yeah, it's
we'll
gonna
see
be
how it goes.
it's gonna be a banger, that's for sure. So speaking of
Yeah,
Area 8,
well,
go ahead.
no, well, I was gonna say, Kang Zhao from California is flying out here
Yeah, dude,
for
like
Michigan.
which is crazy. I don't know if it's right where it hits right for everybody's schedule or something, but like, I mean, we've built this match. We've hosted it last year and this year. We built the rep. I've been posting all over the media. Is like, this is the biggest Michigan section to date, and we're gonna have like 260 shooters. Like, the average of Michigan section is like 180 people signing up for that match.
Yeah,
So we're building it now. We've got plenty of slot. I mean, by the time people listen, the match is going to be over. But like we have plenty of slots on Sunday. Like it's weird. Like everyone's
Mhm.
like, I want to shoot the last day, but everyone who travels are like, oh, I'm going to shoot Saturday, so then I can still be home on go home on Sunday, or
yeah,
so you can still do things, which is still good. But
yeah,
but yeah, it's definitely it's going to be a great match. The stages are all on the ground. But we've proofed them and tweaked them, so it should be definitely a good match, a good shooting match for everybody. So I'm
yeah.
excited.
Well, the past 2 years I've shot it. It's been Michigan is like I'm there. Like I'm gonna be at Michigan because it's a great match. It's always been. The staff's great. The stages are good. I enjoy Michigan, and it's
Mhm.
only 3 hours from me, so that's a plus as well.
Yeah, and then that's also the same thing I tell Sam. It's 3 hours away from me for an
Mhm.
indoor winter mat. Well, I mean, I also did tell him that his prices were high too, though. Like, but I
Yeah,
understand like his business partners are like, yeah, hey, like we closed down the range for this. Like, we can't lose money on this.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I guess I can understand the price tag of it.
Hmm.
So, but nor am I really okay with a $50 local match, unless it comes
Yeah.
with a ham
It
sandwich. I mean, if it comes with a ham sandwich, I might be okay.
yeah. It is a little high. But I'm always normally willing to pay it because, well, like for us, there's no local matches. I think the closest local match is an hour and a half or an hour and 20 minutes, and that's I believe Crawford.
Yeah,
I think Crawford is the closest.
on the north side of Columbus, right?
Yeah.
'Cause that's even farther
Uh,
north than like Cardinal.
hmm
I'm gonna look
Yeah,
up now.
it's close. It's a little bit closer than Cardinal. Cardinal's an hour and 40 minutes, hour and 45 minutes, I believe, and then Crawford's like an hour and 20, hour and 15, something like that.
Yeah, that
Um,
sounds about
and
right.
And for a local match, like it's hard for me to just go to a local match on a Saturday and you know get up and drive 2.5 3 hours for a local match. It's harder for me to do that because it's only 5 or 6 stages, and let's face it, stages aren't very well built. They're just kind of thrown together, which I don't blame them. I'm not criticizing them or anything. It is a local match. It's how it's supposed to be.
Hmm.
Uh, but for me to put that much time and effort to drive that way, all that way to do it, it's just a little bit too much. So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, Crawford is pretty cool. It's right next to Mansfield, Ohio, the only place in Ohio that you would catch me living. Only because it's Mansfield, Ohio, and there might be Mansfield
right.
toilets in Mansfield, Ohio. It might be a city ordinance that there must be Mansfield
Hey,
toilets in Mansfield,
hey,
Ohio.
hey, MTS might need to move there. Relocate.
I don't know. It's still Ohio. But
Oh man.
which
Yeah.
still drives me nuts is like, so you look at a map, and then you got Upper Sandusky, which is south of Sandusky,
Yeah.
but it's not even like remotely close to Sandusky. It's like way between Lima and like Mansfield. I don't get it. I don't
Yeah.
get you, Ohio. Besides the fact that your state troopers are butts and like to give people speeding tickets. My wife still gripes about getting her speeding ticket. We came back from Buckeye. She had to pass. She was passing a semi, and of course she got up to speed. Like she got about like 70 miles an hour. Past it was like 55, right? And this
Yeah.
guy, well, of course, the oncoming car was a silver trooper, and I was like, son of a bitch.
Ah
So
man.
so the funny part is then he has to wait for the truck. He doesn't go and speed up and get around the truck. He waits behind the truck forever. And it's like, ha,
Yeah.
that's what you get. See, that's annoying. Who wants to sit behind a semi after and go like
Right.
45?
Yeah.
My wife still hates Ohio. But anywho, well, I guess we'll talk about. So, so you said punching back a lot in the conversation. Your dad gave you a little bit of coaching, and then what was it? 24. You took a class with Tom,
Yeah. December of 2024.
right? And how eye opening was that class with Mr. Castro?
Um, actually kind of funny. I actually didn't even want to take the class.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I had met Tom uh, like twice before, and it was actually at Buckeye Blast in 24. I think it was either Buckeye Blast or Area 5. I'm not sure. But, anyways, he was there shooting the match, and I was shooting on Friday, Saturday. He was shooting Saturday, Sunday. And he was watching me shoot, and he was making me mad
Mm-hmm.
because he kept saying some stuff and like pointing out what I was doing wrong, and he would point it out while I was like within earshot, but like wasn't a part of the conversation,
Gotcha.
and which that's just Tom. And so he's saying stuff, and I'm just like, dude, shut up. I can hear you. Why are you doing that?
Well, he's not a
And
quiet person.
oh no, not at all. So of course he was with Sam and Janelle, and so Sam's like, Isaac, come here. So I walk over there, and Tom's like, dude, you're doing really good. You're crushing it. He's like, but I could teach you so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I was probably a little bit, I guess, a little bit prideful, and I was just like, yeah, whatever. You can't teach me squat. And it was funny is actually at that match, I ended up beating him overall,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it was that match. I think it was either Buckeye Blaster Area 5 of 24. So, anyways, I was like, oh, yeah, he can't teach me squat, blah, blah, blah. Well, then we go to nationals, and I ended up staying with him and Sam in the same Airbnb. And it opened up my eyes a whole lot. Just being able to talk to Tom and interact with him on a personal level, you realize, oh, he's not the jerk everybody says he is, and what he seems to be on the range. He's just
Mm-hmm.
Tom's just him. He talks. He's got a big mouth, and he doesn't care. And that's why I appreciate him so much, is because he doesn't care what anybody says. He's just going to be himself.
Oh yeah,
So
100%.
so
He's
so
still
fast
Tom.
forward from national. Yeah, exactly. So fast forward to nationals, or from nationals to Area 2 in Phoenix. I was on the same squad with him, and he gave me a whole bunch of pointers at Area 2. And I was like, okay, I'm starting to like this guy. This is kind of cool. And so then Sam was like, hey, I've got Tom coming up in December. You need to take a class. And so finally I was like, all right, whatever. I'll jump in on this class and see what Tom can teach me. And it was huge, honestly. He changed my game. Like shooting on the move, I had so many issues with it, and no matter what Dad tried to tell me what to do, for some reason I couldn't get it through my head. And I go to Tom's class, and maybe it was just because Dad was, my dad, and me being a son, I'm not going to listen to my dad the way I should. And Tom would go over there and basically tell me the exact same thing, and I would do it, and it would work. And I'm like, well, I think Dad was trying to get that through my head for 2 years now, and I wasn't listening. Um, but yeah, it was eye opening. I learned a lot, and my respect for Tom was pretty low at the beginning of the class, and then at the end of the class, I was like, okay, he knows what he's talking about. He's a really good teacher, and what I love about his class is he doesn't just tell you what to do; he shows you,
Mm-hmm.
and then he proves what he's teaching, or how he or yeah what he's teaching is faster. He doesn't just tell you, hey, I think this will be faster, or he doesn't say this will be faster. He'll tell you it's faster, and then he'll show you how it's faster, and then he'll have you do it your way, and then he'll have you do it his way, and then it's always faster. The timer never lies. That's
Mm-hmm.
like his motto when it comes to teaching.
Oh
So
yeah, 100%. Yeah, he definitely shows you how to do it and how he does it, and
yeah,
how you to get on his side. Like, and some people try to use like some of their flawed stage planning logic on him, and it just doesn't work. Like, well, if I take this really awkward lean, I'm going to save a position. I'm like, yeah, but think about it. That's going to cost you 4 seconds to get into the position to then
mhm,
shoot, and it's like. And I've
yeah,
taken Tom's class twice, and I've had two different groups of students in that class, which was nice. Um, so you have like the super, like you'll have the guys who are like really green in the classes, and then you have like the guys who are know enough to be dangerous, but they don't know how to connect all the time. So
yeah, yeah,
and which is nice to see. And then Tom gets to pull out different Toms while teaching too, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
And then like
Yeah. It
sometimes
was
like go ahead.
Well, it was great. Like in our class, we had all different levels. We had, M class all the way down to C class shooters, and all of us learned something from the same class.
Hmm.
And it wasn't like Tom was like, "Hey, you have to be an M class level shooter to actually learn something from this."
Hmm.
I don't care what level you are, you're gonna learn this technique and you're gonna be able to apply it. You may not be able to, back out on this target as fast as an M or a GM class shooter, but you'll still be able to back out and you're gonna save some time.
Hmm.
And that's what I loved about it is it wasn't just like only GMs can shoot this way. It was I don't care who you are, you can shoot this way.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And you can take it at what your skill level is and apply it. All right.
Yeah,
Now, like one of the big things that Tom teaches is the crash, right? Like
yeah,
that's a big thing about, especially for a dot shooter, like you understand there's going to be bounce, right? Like, and using and planning the bounce into your
hmm,
stage,
yeah,
it's going to save you, it's going to save you whole seconds of where's my dot or, my sights aren't here now. Now I
yeah,
can, you know,
yeah,
how the crash helps with entries and exits and, well, mostly entries, but anywho,
yeah.
but no, it's cool. The only thing I wouldn't say is I would hate to take a Tom class on concrete though. Like standing in Midwest concrete the whole time would be like terrible on my knees.
It
Like
was it was rough. Yeah. By the end of the day, we were all tired. So
Sam, you need turf and or more padding on your floors, please. It's
yeah,
almost like shooting outside, but you need to really shoot outside.
yeah,
Just buy an outdoor facility, Sam.
yeah, yeah.
He won't listen.
No, he won't. He don't care. He
I
don't
know.
care.
I mean, just buy you. He's Sam. You've already bought all of Lima, so just make it happen, bud.
Just
He,
grow grass in there, man.
I mean, he could. I mean, I don't know.
Just
I
like
mean, it's convenient though, right, to have the smooth floors, but it's also like standing on that all weekend would be really rough on the body. And then Monday morning comes, you're like, I don't want to move.
yeah, yeah.
But but I want to touch on Area 8. I know we've talked about a lot of topics, but I do want to make sure there's a couple topics I still want to get to. So,
All right.
Area
Yep.
8, you shot on second. Did you shoot staff day or second staff? Like, I didn't understand that. Like, did everybody shoot on staff? Did you shoot on staff day? That was a better question.
Okay. So I think there was like staff shot Wednesday and Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
and they let some squads come through and shoot all day Thursday. So that's what I did was shoot all day Thursday.
Okay. So were
So
you
like
were you only with were you did you have dedicated ROs or were you still shooting with staff members?
um, we were still shooting with staff members, and like Tim Heron was there, and a couple other guys that were not staff were there shooting with us as well. So for the first half of the day, the staff that was in our squad um, ran the timer on the tablet, and then the second half of the day, the the shooters that shot Wednesday and Thursday, the second half of the day, they came over and like ran the squads after that, after they were
Oh,
finished
okay.
shooting for the day. So
Okay, that makes more sense then. Okay.
yeah,
But how do you feel not how your performance was? How was your experience at Area 8?
um, the experience was great.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the 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 type of stages that are there, and I talk a lot about stages at matches on Instagram, just because I feel like the at when you get to a nationals and a area level match, the stages need to be challenging. They need to push you to your limits, right? Area matches not as much as nationals, but I feel like a nationals match is you got some of the best shooters in the world or in the nation show up.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need to be shooting classifier stages type stages.
Right.
And so I was actually talking to Zach Poland a little bit about it, and he was like, "Well, he's like, I'm honestly curious to see what your take is on these stages because I feel like we've done a pretty good job." And dude, Area 8 blew it out of the water. The stages that they had there, they were hard enough to where you actually had to think about it. You actually had to concentrate on your gun, your grip, your sights, the swingers. You had the swingers that were like upside down.
Hmm.
You had regular swingers. They had like I think four different type of swingers at the match, three or four. Bobbers. They had everything, and I loved it. The only thing, the only thing I did not like about Area 8 was the the amount of designated start positions they had.
Hmm.
Uh, I like, for me, I think what makes a match challenging is being able to walk up to a stage and being able to start anywhere and wondering which position would be the best. Where which start position would be the best. But I understand having designated start positions really helps with uh, like time. I guess makes it easier for staff because you're like, okay, they're starting here, they're going to go one or two ways, and they're going to end here. I don't have to worry about trying to retreat super fast and get out of here, type thing. So it kind of helps a little bit in the staff area. But yeah, I think that was kind of like the only thing that I could think of that Area 8 did not have was, you know, non-designated start positions.
Right, and I also think that's a little bit of the rule change too. About the make ready position rule.
Mhm.
The no more than one step movement from the start position.
Yeah,
So they like a lot of places are taking it literally like, oh, well, let's just tell them where to start. I'm like, but for the same reasons that you are, it's like, well, I want to use my strengths and weaknesses to educate my plan. Like,
yeah,
Tom is one of those people, for example, who will absolutely do the most ass backwards plan, like ass backwards. Let me put air quotes, guys. Ass backwards plan and still perform at the same level, and if not have a faster time than the super
hmm,
squad level guys. So it's like when you force everybody into, oh, we're gonna start here, and then it makes only this sense to do this pattern. It defeats the thought of the stage, right? So,
exactly.
and I
There's
think
no
that's a
stage
little bit of
plan.
the, yeah, because then at that point, and then it's a target engagement. Like, is it this target or is it this target? Like, which one am I going to
Exactly.
leave on? It's like, so there's little things that with that rule change. I think it hurt the sport a little bit, but
Hmm.
it's also where I kind of push back is like on a team planning big matches. It's like, well, how about we just say anywhere outside, anywhere inside? I mean, most of the time it's going to be relatively the same spot, but you still give people the thought of the option.
Yeah, right.
But I
Yeah,
think the only thing I saw from the match that I didn't care for, and I've talked to a couple people, was the shoot house stage. The you got to get on your belly to shoot these targets stage. Like
yeah,
everything else, like the whole match
hmm,
looked great. You just take out that one stage, or even the elements of that stage, like that,
yeah,
and you would have a
yeah,
killer stage.
hmm,
Like add a couple targets to blend over going into the either side, or as you're shooting up, as you're coming over the ramp. Like, I mean, like that'd be kind of cool. Like, but
right.
yeah, the underneath the shoot house definitely was one of those things. Like, no, thank you.
Yeah, and I agree. I love the amount of work they put into that stage.
Hmm.
Because I mean, dude, that stage was $1,000 to build. Uh,
Oh,
that was an
easy.
expensive stage. Yeah,
Well, and I was
and
talking to
it.
Ron, and it sounds like that thing's gonna stay there. Like that structure is like it's
Oh,
not
really?
moving. Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, great. So we're going to be seeing that quite a bit then.
Well, the nice thing is the ports and all the upper walls change. So.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. But like, I love the work and I love the effort, and I enjoyed that stage. I thought it was challenging. It was, dude, I'm 23 years old, and after I got done shooting that stage, my legs were sore and I was breathing hard because it challenged literally everybody. Uh, no matter your size, no matter your age, it challenged you. And I think I had two or three deltas on that stage because when I got to those farther targets at the end of the port, I literally had two deltas on the last two targets, and I was like breathing hard, and I was having struggles calling my shots, and it was tough. It was a challenging stage, but at the same time, I feel like you were kind of pushing the boundaries with having to drop down to one knee and then get up and try to push off hard after shooting those targets. you're going to have some pulled hamstrings, some hurt legs and stuff like that.
Well, Corey Messersmith tore out his
Yeah,
ACL. It literally
exactly.
area 8 took him out right at the knee.
Oh man, yeah. He messaged me. He sends me the videos on Instagram. He's like, dude, Area 8 like kicked my butt, and I was like, what in the world happened? He's like, torn ACL again. uh, but what's crazy though is he didn't even he tore his ACL on the far left target, leaning out of bounds.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even get it. He wasn't even the target, bending down, which maybe that puts some strain on it. But
He's just
uh,
old. He doesn't want to admit it.
poor Corey.
It's okay. He was telling me, it's like, this is the second Michigan sectional I've had to miss because of this shit. This is bullshit. But
Man, that
yeah.
hurts.
So how was how did you feel about your performance at the match then? I mean, you were ending Thursday. You were leading the match in limited optics, and
Yep.
then you get to watch your lead shrivel away as the weekend continued.
Yeah. So I flew out with my uncle to New Mexico on. We were supposed to leave Friday, so that's why I ended up shooting Thursday. So we were supposed to leave Friday morning. Weather was bad, so the flights got changed to Saturday morning. Um, so I think at the end of Friday, I was still in the lead, and I was Saturday morning. We were getting on the plane, and I was telling him about the match, and I was like, "Man, I was like, I think I have a good chance at getting first place here." I said, "But I'm worried about two people," and it was Kang Zhao
Mm-hmm.
and Tanner. And I was like, "But Tanner, I think Tanner's out because his backup gun broke, or his primary gun broke, and he's shooting his backup gun." I was like, "So I don't think he's going to be able to run that as fast as he would his primary gun."
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, "I might have a good chance here." And out of nowhere, Dylan shows up and kicked everybody's butt and wins by, I think, what's 5%, 4.5%.
Yeah, about 4.3%. Yeah, 4.32%,
Okay.
which is
Yeah.
still, I mean, hefty lead. I mean, time, he was only 3 seconds or 2.5 seconds faster than Kang, but his
hmm
points were only slightly better. I mean, he didn't have, like, you had less Charlies than he did, but he had, you had more Deltas. So, I mean, it's kind of a
Yeah.
wash there, but you also lost by what, 15 seconds? Like, you were 15 seconds off total pace. So in reality,
Yeah.
1.1 second per stage of time, right? Like, if you look at it at a
Yeah.
whole spectrum of time, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
there might not have been there might not have been 1.1 seconds per stage, right? But so it could have been a 2.2 second stage here, or you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Well, there was a couple stages where he beat me by 2 seconds, and then I'd come back and beat him by like 1 second, type thing. But when he beat me, did he shoot Saturday?
yes, I think he did. I think
I think yeah.
King had to
Yeah.
come in
So
on Sunday.
so when he came back, or when I looked at the score Saturday night, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, he completely destroyed like my what I thought I had of a lead. I was like, oh yeah, I'll be up there, 95 to 100% for sure. And then he comes in and bumps me down to like 93%, and then Kane comes in there. Or no, he bumped me down to like 95%, and then Kane comes in there and bumps me down even more to like 93.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, my word, you guys are hurting my feelings. Uh, but no, honestly, I can't complain. Um, I thought I performed pretty well. There was a couple stages that I could not get aggressive with at the very beginning. I started on stage 4, and we shot that stage, and I ended up having to go back through there and reshoot that because they had a whole issue with the sliding steel.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so they ended up making those two poppers stationary. So I was able to reshoot that. If I wasn't able to reshoot that, man, I would have been like probably 80%, 85%. Um, it was a really, really bad stage for me. It's the first stage of the day, and it was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
But so that was a rough start. Stage 5, that was okay. But I think I was like 3 seconds behind Dylan, or 2 seconds behind Dylan on stage 5, I believe. Um, so that was a slow start. And then stage 6 was the shoot house stage. I had 2 deltas on that. And then stage 7 was where I finally started to feel myself, and I had a mic on the tuxedo, which was absolutely ridiculous. It was the third target backing out on the tuxedo. It was just a stupid mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but after stage 7, we went and shot stage 1 through 4. I had made a couple of small mistakes, but I was feeling myself and feeling aggressive. Tried to push the pace, get my hits, and felt pretty good. So I can't honestly, I can't complain about how I performed. Um, just got to
Right.
work on
Yeah.
certain things. So,
Yeah, but the nice thing is looking at your stage results. You're not like you. It wasn't like first, second, 70th, right? First, second, 50
right.
set. You didn't have a bunch of stages that were like that, which is a good sign, right? That you are progressing, like, or you're
Yeah.
you're doing very. It's there was no bombs of stages except chronograph. You only had 133 power factor. What the heck? You got to be like 171 to win chronograph and minor. I really think it's dumb that like you can have like a stage, like you still get a stage slot placement from chronograph.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It is more of a lulls, and there's a percent. You only were 87% on the winner though. I'm sorry, that's just dumb on the computer. That's really dumb. Yeah, like practice score, that's stupid. But anyhow,
That's
so I
yeah.
mean that's good that you were like I couldn't really complain. I mean, yeah, there's always the little nitpicky things we can always get about our stages, but I mean at the end
Yeah.
of the day, that's not bad, right? Like,
Yeah. Well, like, and I was looking at like if you take away all the deltas, and I think I had one or two mics the whole match, and then a no shoot on the last stage, last target, the no shoot on the bus stage. Um, I hit barely clipped the no shoot there and had to do a makeup. But if even if you took all that away, Dylan still beat me by like I think 5% or 4% on that
mm-hmm,
stage. I still would have been in third place. Kang still would have beat me. Um, so it's not like those mistakes that I made actually hurt me.
mm-hmm.
Um, if anything, it just made me realize that okay, I've really got to lock in my practice sessions more. My dry fire, I've really got to lock in here and get this stuff figured out, because having a mic on a 5 or 4 yard tuxedo or however far that was is ridiculous. Anybody should be able to hit hit a tuxedo at 4 yards and not have a mic on that.
So was it
But
in the hardcover or was it off paper?
no, it was in the hardcover. Yeah,
Could
but
I
it wasn't
roll?
like
Wasn't like it
it,
wasn't close. It was like way out
no,
there.
no, it was like 3 inches in the hardcover, and I was just like, and I shot, and I thought I called two alphas, and so when he called Alpha Mike, I was like, what? And I walk over there, and I was just like, man, that's ridiculous.
Right. No, yeah, 100%. Yeah, I can understand that and be frustrated with that. But yeah, no, it looks like you still were able to keep it together, right? You had really good place finishes at this match. You're gonna use it as fuel going into Michigan, which once you guys listen to this will be in the past. So you'll have to look at the
Yep.
scores at this point and see how we did. Um, like it's gonna be a good one. I'm already look. How many we got in limited optics? 3 GMs. I
Uh,
don't know who the other GM is, but maybe it's Sam. I think it is. I think it's you, Tanner, and Sam are the 3 GMs in limited optics.
no, I'm in.
Aaron M. That's right. So who's the third guy then? Okay, I'll have to look. That's the problem. The one thing I hate about the back end of practice score is that
No, I
it
think
like.
Sam's shooting carry optics, isn't he?
I'll look. I'll scroll. Sam. Yep, he is signed up as carry optics. It doesn't. It's still a
Yeah.
Phoenix. It's still a Drake. They just
It's the
throws the
same gun without a magwell. Yeah.
yeah, that, and I mean it still looks like a cyborg gun. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
the ugliest things I've ever seen. Nothing. No offense to anyone who has one of these guns, but Limcats are ugly to me. I like
Dude.
Tron as a movie, not
Yeah.
on my guns.
Yeah.
Like it just honestly probably makes a lot of stress cracks and a lot of stress, like issues with that. Like I'm like, you're taking integrity. You want meat on the slide, especially with
Yeah.
an open gun. It's got to have meat.
Yeah.
But that's just me. I mean, I'm not a metallurgist, but I'm gonna say that right there. But
Yeah.
man, Isaac, I know I've had a blast chit chatting with you, but it's getting kind of late probably on both of our ends. So,
Yep.
if people want, well, this is the part where you get to promote your dad some more, and if you have any other sponsors, you may share them here, and then we will get to the wrapping of the show.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah. Well, I don't want to. I don't want to promote. So that was one thing. A lot of people think that because we're a custom gun shop that we are like rivals with these other custom gun shops. I've talked to Dan several times at D2. He's always been nice to us. if we can't help somebody out, we try to send them to Dan because Dan's always been good. We buy our sight blocks from Dan. We're buying parts from him. So, um, you know, we like I said on Instagram the other day, I don't bash anybody. I don't like to bash anybody. My dad has never tried to bash customers or other custom gun shops. And you hear through the grapevine when other people bash your company, and we've never heard of Dan talking bad about us, and we really appreciate that. Hopefully he's never heard us talking bad about him, because we don't talk bad about any company. So
No, he hasn't.
uh,
At least not that
yeah
he's told
I,
about me. Well,
yeah well, I'm glad to hear that, because we yeah but anyways, so yeah, you guys can come and check us out. But Dan's a great guy, and if you need a gun, go to Dan, go talk to him. But yeah, Scorpion Ammo, they've helped me out quite a bit. I had a boatload of ammo issues, and ever since Scorpions kind of helped me out with ammo, and I'm a sponsored shooter for them now, so I haven't had any ammo issues ever since I've started shooting for them. So that's awesome. And then Midwest Shooting Center, if you're in the area, check them out. But other than that, I think that's basically it. Yeah.
well, there you go.
Not
Yeah.
really
So,
sponsored. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, hey, you don't need a sponsor when you got a gun builder. Your dad's a gun builder. I mean, well, you're the gun builder.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, go check out eyes. Oh, so where's the social medias? Where do they go? Where can they see guns? Where can they talk to you if they want to talk to you about shooting or guns or whatnot? Where's the
Yeah.
places?
Uh, so my personal account is McLearn Outdoors. You can see all the shooting info and stuff like that. If you want to talk to me about stages or whatever on there, that's great. The gun page is McLearn Custom Pew Pews. Instagram shut down the McLearn Custom Guns account, and so we had to change it up. So McLearn Custom Pew Pews, you can go on there and look at the guns that we build. It's a new account, so you can go on there and give us a follow and support us, help us out. But yeah, that's the only two accounts. We do have a YouTube channel, McLearn Custom Guns YouTube channel. You can go on there and watch some of the guns we build are on there, and then all of my stages, major matches, I post them on there as well. So
Well, that's cool. I'll make sure to tag that and put that in the description too, so everyone can see that and stuff. And
yeah, appreciate it.
no problem. But Isaac, man, dude, it's been a blast. I've had a fun conversation with you. I'm excited to see you here in a couple days. I will
Yes,
see
sir.
you on Saturday. I will be on stage 3. If you don't see me anywhere else, but I'll be on stage 3. But so I appreciate your time hanging out with me. And listeners, get out and do the things. We'll see you on the next one.